Salam aleikum, con los buenos días, que en los acutares a todos. Bendiciones, felicidades para aquellos que siguen las navidades y en estos tiempos, esta época. Felicidades, espero que la pasen bien junto a su familia y nada, que en los acutares a todos. I pray that all you guys are blessed and be blessed. You guys have a great holiday for those who follow the holidays. In this season, this time. Hope you guys have a great time with your families and be safe. Short video like always, guys. Just came in this morning kind of to answer or try to give a little bit of light to a comment that was asked. And the comments, it was asked if I could make a video on or speak about what can a person do that does not there's not initiated into a tradition of some sort. And the first thing that I would say is that you have to remember you're not initiated into any sort, right? Whoever you may be, but you are a spiritual person, right? You have spirit, you have ancestry. And I learned this, it took me a while to learn this, because even though we know, right, that we have ancestors, we are taught these days that when someone passes away, they either go to heaven or they go to hell. And a lot of us sometimes, we mourn those who have passed, right? And there comes a time when we forget those who have passed because of life circumstances. You know, life continues. Your own family, your own children, you know, and this sort of thing, you know. And here now and then, you might go to Campo Santo, right? You might go to a cemetery and hang out for a little while, leave some flowers or something like that, or whatever you may do. Go speak, go sit down, say a prayer, whatever. You know, clean, you know, the area where they body is laying there, and so forth. And we are taught this, and this stays in our mind. So we don't think about honoring our ancestors. Those who have fallen in the flesh, we don't think to honor them. We think that once they passed away, that's it. You know? Yeah, we go here now and then, or, you know, some of us, in certain times, in birthdays and holidays, if anything, and we just keep on going, you know, we keep on living life. But in true reality, the majority of those who have passed are alive. They're not like us here in the flesh, but they are more alive than what we are. They see more than what we could see, and they understand more than what we understand, because we haven't crossed over. We're not there yet. That's why a lot of people meditate. That's why a lot of people take psychedelics. That's why a lot of people get into a practice of trying to connect in a way where they could reach that realm where you are actually at, really. Because we see ourselves as being here in the flesh, right? This is us. But in all true reality, this ain't us. It's a projection of us from where we are really at. And when our spirit leaves this body, then is when we're going to understand exactly what we are and who really we are. And you're going to understand that we are not this body. We don't have these organs, you know. But anyway, my advice to you, out of all the mistakes and things that I have done as far as seeking, right? Seeking. What is my calling? I have done a lot of mistakes. Because when you feel, or you feel an interest, or you feel something, it could be emotional, that you believe in that, and you get interested in finding more out about that, either that practice, that religion, that tradition, whatever it may be. And you start doing your research and you start learning, and then you start getting involved with a community and whatever. Could be even in religion. You start being a part of it. You start being part of that community, that society. You start being part of that faith-based system or that tradition. And you start following the doctrines of what they teach. And through time, it's like you create and you make a different family. You meet other people. But when all that emotion, when all that interest, when all that dies down, and if you're a person like me and you keep on researching and you start finding out that this is not your calling, this is not what you was looking for, this is not in your spirit, you don't feel this in your spirit, becomes an issue. Because yes, you could leave, right, the practice in totality, but you also are leaving people behind. People who you have ate with, people who you have studied with, people who you have socialized with, people that you consider kind of like family already, you know, because this happens, you know, we humans, this is stuff that happens. Sorry about that. It becomes difficult, right, to disconnect. Because you could disconnect, right? You can say, oh, I'm not going to practice that no more. But now you have to deal with the people, the brothers, the sisters, the acquaintances, you know, the leaders, you know, so it becomes kind of, and let's say that this happens to you over and over in your search. You're constantly trying and looking, look, this ain't it, boom. So, you know, now you gotta leave this, now you gotta disconnect from this people, now you gotta explain to them, no, you know, and all, and it's kind of like a battle. So you're battling with yourself and you're battling with other people, and you keep on searching and searching and searching. You keep on bumping into things. You try to see if this is what you you know is your calling or whatever, and it becomes a situation. See, not everybody is taught something or learn something, right? And this is what they die with for life. They don't look nowhere else. They feel content and satisfied, and they feel it in their spirit, and this is what they want to do. Not all of us go through this. A lot of us go through these hiccups, you know? So in order, with knowing all these things that I myself have been through, right? Searching and seeking, now I understand, and I'm capable to give a little advice to those who don't practice no traditions, but feel as though they are called and they want to do something, but they're not initiated. in anything. Remember, you have ancestry. You have ancestors. With what I know now, I would reverence my ancestors first. With what I know now, I would reverence my ancestors first. Call upon my ancestors, ask for their guidance, ask for their protection, do things for my ancestors. If I know that an ancestor of mine liked a certain type of food, I will cook a certain type of food and make some place in my home, for that ancestor, and set that side of plate of food, because I know that that's what they like in life. That was the plate of their dream. That's the plate that they used to lick their fingers because that's what they love. I would do that. If they smoked a certain type of cigarette or something, I will get a cigarette and light it for them and put it there. Just leave it there. Put it in an ashtray or something, or aluminum foil, something where it won't burn anything down. Leave it there. Things to honor them, things to remember them. You understand? Things to give them that experience, that what they had here before they left this flesh. You understand? Because our ancestors are not dead. Our ancestors are alive. I know that some people would ask somebody what could they do, if they don't follow something, but they incline to give an offering to a certain power or a certain energy, and they would tell you, oh, okay, well, listen, do this and do that, take this here, take this there, and all that. I understand that there are people that will give you that advice to do that. But I would rather, if I don't know what I'm doing, not do just what anybody tells me. I would honor my ancestors first. If I feel a calling on something, I would do my due diligence and my research and take my time, not rush into it. Because one thing that I wish since 2011 that I had took my time and do research and evaluating the people, but some of us are very ignorant to the traditions and to religions. We don't really search enough, or sometimes we don't have the resources, because some of these traditions are very hush-hush. So how are you going to learn something when nobody's telling you anything? You understand? That's why I try to orientate people through here to the best of my ability. Might not be the best orientation, but at least I'm trying to do something. And this is what it's all about. We have to get to a point in time as practitioners in this tradition that we try to give people something to guide them. I'm not saying you shouldn't be taught under an elder. I'm not saying you should be giving out treaties, tratados, secrets. But there's a lot of things that you can help people out. There's a lot of things that you can speak to people about the tradition. And it's not like you're giving up a secret. We're in 2024. We're about to be in 2025. Palo has evolved. And if you don't think Palo has evolved, then think on this one thing. The medicine that people used 2,000 or 3,000 years ago, the sicknesses that were 2,000 or 3,000 years ago, and I'm only using 2,000 or 3,000 years ago, are they the same as what we have today? Or do we have more and different type of sicknesses, including those today in 2024? Is it the same? And if you are aware, you would say it's not the same. We have things these days that are happening that didn't happen back then. And I only use sicknesses, diseases, medicines. You know why? Because those people in that time did not need that, because that wasn't happening in those days. But these days, there's a lot of things happening. We got COVID now that we didn't have. You know, swine flu. There's so many things. So, yes, Palo is a tradition that has that comes from older generation of practices, but that does not mean that there's no evolution in Palo. Because if there's no evolution, Palo is going to die. And a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge that don't teach a little bit, something, to me, it's kind of being selfish. Because you should be able to give somebody something, or guide somebody in a direction, or give somebody an advice or something. I'm not saying give secrets, tratados from your jama. But we should be able to help people. Because at the end of the day, ain't that what we're supposed to be doing as practitioners? Helping ourselves first to help others. Even Ifa says it. Even Ocha says it. ¿Verdad? Para ayudar y sanar al mundo. They say it too. So I don't know what's the big deal. I'm trying to help people with a little bit of information, with a little bit of something to guide these people. I will honor my ancestors. I will seek, do my due diligence, see what is it really that I feel in my spirit. Talk to elders. Find out if that is what you want to do. Because if you don't, you're going to end up getting into something, and then you're not going to feel it in your spirit as time goes by, and then you're going to have to move on, because you don't want to stay stagnant. You want to really find what is it that is in your spirit to do, and then you're going to have these hiccups. So as an advice from a person that's been through more than 2 or 3, 4 hiccups, do your due diligence, honor your ancestors, research, speak, take your time, have patience, don't jump the gun, don't get into something just because you know, out of just, you know, because you feel something or whatever. That's my advice. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam, have a great day, be blessed, peace.